A dimly lit hallway. The camera slowly pans down the hallway, showcasing peeling wallpaper, flickering lights, and shadows that seem to dance. Every night when the clock strikes midnight, the hallway stretches. It feels as if my home is alive, breathing, and shifting. I've tried to measure it, to convince myself it's just a trick of the mind. But deep down, I know the truth. Visuals, flashbacks of a normal life, a family sitting together, laughter, light coming through a window. As the camera pulls back, we see the hallway in the background, always there, an ominous presence. It started innocent enough, just a light flickering, a door creaking. But every night the hallway grew a little longer, a little darker, as if it were a gateway to something that shouldn't exist. Visuals, cut to a series of close-ups, eyes darting nervously, a hand reaching for a door handle, the protagonist looking in a mirror with a haunted expression. I wanted to ignore it, to pretend it was nothing, but each night it pulled me closer, like a moth to a flame. Friends stopped visiting, even the neighbors began to avoid me. They could sense the change. Visuals, darker scenes in the hallway at night, with shadows creeping and whispering voices echoing softly. Objects subtly move on their own, as if something is watching. The whispers began softly, at first just echoes of my own thoughts. I'd hear my name being called, but nobody was there. The walls seemed to close in. I could almost feel them breathe, pulsing with a malevolence that was all too real. Visuals, a montage of the protagonist trying to cope, pacing the hallway, frantically drawing diagrams, measuring with a tape, the degree of the hallway's lengthening horror. I realized I wasn't going crazy. The distance between my rooms was expanding. I tried to map it, to mark where the last door ended and where the new wall began. But every time I thought I had it figured out, I'd wake up to another few feet added to my nightmare. Visuals, scenes intensify. The lights flicker violently, doors slam shut, and strange figures appear at the end of the hallway, just out of sight. I wasn't alone anymore. Dark figures began to emerge, the lost souls trapped in the endless lengths of my hallway. I could see their faces contorted in pain, as if begging for release. I was terrified, but I was also fascinated. Visuals, the protagonist begins to falter, hair disheveled, eyes sunken, crumpled measurements on the floor. The hallway now looks distorted, with odd angles and an impossible perspective. I was running out of time. Each night the hallway reached further into darkness, and I felt myself slipping away. I tried to sleep. I tried to hide. But every time I closed my eyes, it grew, curling around me like a predator. Visuals, in a climactic moment, the protagonist gathers courage to walk down the hallway, determined to confront whatever waits at the end. The camera follows closely behind. And then I made a choice. I would face the darkness. I would confront whatever nightmare lurked down that interminable corridor. I had to know what it wanted from me. Visuals. The camera slows down as the protagonist reaches the end of the hallway. A door looms ahead, whispering promises and threats. Just as they reach for the doorknob, the screen cuts to black. What I found at the end, well, that is a story for another night. For now, the hallway remains, stretching, waiting. Text on screen. The hallway gets longer every night. Will you dare return?